The digestive system works very closely with the circulatory system to get the absorbed nutrients distributed through your body. The circulatory system also carries chemical signals from your endocrine system, which is another important system for digestion. The endocrine system is important for the digestive system because it controls the speed of digestion. The nervous system also helps with digestion. The nervous system regulates the speed at which food moves through the digestive tract. The autonomic nervous system allows our body to digest the food without having to actually think about it.
Food enters the human digestive system through the mouth. In the mouth, food is chewed and broken down into small pieces suitable for digestion.
The mouth is the beginning of the digestive tract. Digestion starts here when taking the first bite of food. Chewing breaks the food into pieces that are more easily digested, while saliva mixes with the food to begin the process of breaking it down into a form your body can absorb and use.
Next, food slides down the pharynx, which is the throat. Food is further swallowed in the pharynx as a reflex. Food goes through the esophagus, which extends from the pharynx and behind the trachea on its way to the stomach.
The esophagus receives food from your mouth when you swallow. By means of a series of muscular contractions, the esophagus delivers this food to your stomach.
Food is then pushed through the muscular tube and into the stomach through a series of involuntary muscle contractions called peristalsis. Near the opening to the stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter opens to allow food to pass into the stomach and closes to keep the food from going back into the esophagus.
The stomach is a hollow organ that holds food while it is being mixed with enzymes that continue the process of breaking down food into a usable form.
Near the opening to the stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter opens to allow food to pass into the stomach and closes to keep the food from going back into the esophagus.
The liver has multiple functions, but its main function within the digestive system is to process the nutrients absorbed from the small intestine. Bile from the liver plays an important role in digesting fat. The liver can also detoxify potentially harmful chemicals. The pancreas secretes digestive enzymes into the first segment of the small intestine. These enzymes break down protein, fats, and carbohydrates. The pancreas also makes insulin, secreting it directly into the bloodstream.
The small intestine further breaks down the food by producing digestive enzymes.
The small intestine absorbs nutrients and minerals from food. This is where 90% of digestion and absorption of food takes place.
The larger intestine removes water and electrolytes from the food.
The large intestine is responsible for absorbing water from the remaining indigestible food matter and transmitting the useless waste material from the body.
Finally, the waste product is stored in the rectum and excreted through the anus.
The stomach, small intestine, and large intestine of cows are similar to those found in humans. Cows are herbivores, which means they only eat plant material. Plant cell walls are difficult to digest, so to help the digestive process, cows have 3 extra parts to their digestive system between the esophagus and the stomach. These 3 parts include the rumen, the reticulum, and the omasum.
The FDA requires that nutritional labels be placed on most prepared foods, such as bread, cereals, canned and frozen foods, snacks, desserts, drinks, etc. Nutrition labeling for raw produce, fruits and vegetables, and fish is voluntary. In addition to issuing the gram or milligram amounts for macronutrients like fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, and protein, the percent daily value is also used for all nutrients except sugars and protein. All vitamins and minerals are written as percentage of a daily total intake, usually out of a 2,000 calorie diet. Declaring nutrients as a percentage of the daily value provides a standard that is easy to use by individuals who are not familiar with the wide range of levels of different nutrients. The new nutritional facts label requires serving sizes based on the regular portion a person would be expected to eat, servings per container, and amounts of nutrients per serving. New food labels starting in 2018 require added sugars as well as a change in the minerals and vitamins used. Instead of vitamin A and vitamin C, the FDA is switching to potassium and vitamin D because very few Americans are deficient in vitamins A and C, while Americans may not be getting enough of vitamin D and potassium. Also, lack of these nutrients may lead to an increased risk of chronic disease. GMO labeling is now voluntary because according to the FDA, they are safe to eat and possess the same nutritional benefits as their non-GMO counterparts. Grains provide carbs, dietary fiber, and many other important minerals. 6 servings of grains are recommended for a 2,000 calorie plan, with half of the grains being whole grains. Vegetables provide carbs, dietary fiber, and many other important minerals. 2.5 cups of vegetables are ideal for a 2,000 calorie plan. Fruits provide carbs, dietary fiber, folate, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin C. 2 cups of fruit per day would be ideal for a 2,000 calorie plan. Milk and dairy substitutes provide calcium, carbs, and many other important vitamins and minerals. 3 cups of dairy per day are recommended for a 2,000 calorie plan. Meat and seafood contain iron, calcium, proteins, and many other important minerals. Dried beans and peas contain carbs, copper, dietary fiber, and many other important minerals. 5/12 ounces of lean meat or seafood is recommended for a 2,000 calorie plan. 1 ounce of meat or fish is equivalent to about 1/2 cup cooked dried beans or peas. 2 tablespoons of heart-healthy oils are also recommended per day for a 2,000 calorie plan. For the moderately active human adult male, about 2,500 calories are recommended for daily intake. For a moderately active human adult female, about 2,000 calories are recommended. Calorie recommendations are lower for less active people and higher for more active people. 50 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, 24 grams of saturated fatty acids, 310 grams of carbohydrates, 90 grams of sugars, 2.3 grams of sodium, and 30 grams of dietary fibers are estimates for daily consumption. Certain nutrients are very important. For example, carbohydrates and fats provide energy to the body. Extra glucose molecules are converted to glycogen to store in your muscle tissues. Fiber helps digestion. Proteins are the raw materials necessary for the repair of the body's tissues. Minerals and vitamins are necessary to maintain homeostasis.
Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease which causes an inflammation in the lining of your digestive tract. This can lead to abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, and malnutrition. Inflammation caused by Crohn's disease can involve different areas of the digestive tract in different people. The digestive tract begins to flare up based on the types of food you eat, and it is different for every person. There are no proven causes of Crohn's disease. However, scientists believe it is caused by a combination of immune system problems, genetics, and environmental problems. While there is no known cure for Crohn's disease, therapies can greatly reduce its signs and symptoms. Medication and diet modification can help a person with Crohn's disease live a relatively normal life. Celiac disease is a serious genetic autoimmune disorder where the ingestion of gluten leads to damage in the small intestine. There are more than 200 symptoms associated with celiac disease, which makes diagnosis difficult. Celiac disease is hereditary. People with a first-degree relative with celiac have a 1 in 10 risk of developing celiac disease. Celiac disease occurs from an interaction between genes, eating foods with gluten, and other environmental factors, but the precise cause is unknown. Currently, the only treatment for celiac disease is a strict gluten-free diet. Gastroesophageal reflux disease is a chronic digestive disease which occurs when stomach acid, and occasionally stomach content, flows back into your esophagus. The reflux irritates the lining of your esophagus and causes GERD. Symptoms include heartburn and regurgitation of food. GERD is caused by frequent acid reflux, the backup of stomach acid or bile into the esophagus. Reflux can be caused by eating foods with a lot of acids, smoking, and ingesting alcohol. It is more common in people who are overweight or pregnant. Treatment for heartburn and other signs and symptoms of GERD usually begin with over-the-counter medications that control acid and diet modification. Doctors may recommend other treatments, including prescription medications and surgery.
Food doesn't need gravity to get to your stomach.
Laundry detergents take cues from the digestive system.
Your stomach doesn't do most of the digestion.
The surface area of the small intestine is huge.